Hi guys, my name is Dave from the product team here at SalesScreen, and today I want to take just a moment to talk a little bit about gamification, what it is and how it works, and how you can develop a successful gamification strategy within your organization. So gamification is a great tool to bring fun, engagement, and motivation into your offices. It can be incredibly effective at boosting cohesion, performance, and company culture. It's also a brilliant resource to bring together your rock stars, core performers, and rookies alike through competitions, leaderboards, and other forms of recognition. You can easily track performance on key metrics and build incredible momentum to keep driving forward, but first you're going to need a clear strategy on how to do this. So, first, you'll need to define your business objectives. And since we're talking about sales, you need to be very clear on what your sales reps need to achieve, right? So, how many calls or emails should each rep be completing? How many meetings do they need to book? First time meetings, closing meetings, follow up meetings. How many offers should be sent? And of course, what value needs to be reached in order to achieve your revenue targets? Or what number of sales. However, it is that you conduct your sales process, you need to determine your targets and then create measurable KPIs around these. KPIs, of course, being the key performance indicators that you're going to use to track performance. So once you know your goals, you're going to have to set benchmarks in order to measure your success. You should ensure that the KPIs are realistic and that they have a clear timeline. You also need to answer the question of what is it that needs to be achieved in order to meet your underlying business objectives, right? What are you structuring these KPIs around, and what is it that really are your most critical goals at the moment? Once you've done this, you can start looking into what systems you may connect in order to gamify, right? So, how will your data be collected, and how will performance be tracked? For instance, will you integrate your CRM or dialer data or other third-party system? Or will your users enter updates manually, like into SalesScreen? So with SalesScreen, you can, of course, enter the data manually into our data logger from your web or mobile app. Or you can also choose to do it directly via API integration into from your CRM or from another system, however it is that you determine that you'd like to pull the data. Once you've done this, you need to determine what your game elements are going to be. In other words, what you're going to use to drive performance on those KPIs. Perhaps maybe you'd like to create some competitions. Sales competitions are great, right? They're tons of fun to run, and you can run them on a variety of different metrics. You can run them on sales, activities, offers, meetings, whatever you'd like to do. You can set timelines on them. And you can be very clear in the way that the competitions run. You can also choose whether the competitions are going to be team competitions or individual, right? Are they going to be, everyone for their own and there's a single winner or a couple of winners? Or do you want to do team competitions where it's, one location against another, and the best team wins maybe dinner out for the evening or something like that, or whatever it is that you choose to do. Another option, of course, is that in SalesScreen you can celebrate with milestone events, which are really designed to help you celebrate significant milestones. For instance, if a sales rep exceeds 120% of their budget, that's something worth celebrating. And so we're going to help you do that in different ways on TV screens throughout your offices. One of the ways may be that the sales rep's name and photo will show up on TV screens, and that a bottle of champagne will be popping in order to celebrate the event. Or maybe balloons are being released into the mountains, or there's a jackpot one, right, where it's kind of like winning the lottery and all the numbers line up and it's a celebration there. But really the key behind it is to celebrate significant achievements so that everyone feels recognized for their outstanding performance, right, which is contributing to the growth and success of your business. Another way to use some game elements is that you may decide to use leaderboards to track results, right? Leaderboards are very simple, easy, and effective way to highlight who's leading in different areas. And you can have many different leaderboards running at once, right? You may have a leaderboard for who's sent the most offers, another leaderboard for total revenue in the quarter, another leaderboard for most calls or emails sent, and another leaderboard for something else, et cetera, et cetera. But the leaderboards are a lot of fun because they help to recognize a variety of different people across the company, and they show a lot of data at the same time, right? A CEO or someone can walk into the office and quickly get a very clear understanding of uh, what's taking place within the office and who's performing. Uh, so the next step then is to set rewards for the achievements. For instance, how many experience points should be awarded for completing these tasks? SalesScreen allows you to use XP, experience points, to reward the completion of certain activities. And then, of course, the sales reps, as they accumulate XP, can level up from private all the way through general within our SalesScreen rank structure, right? And it's always fun to look up at the screens and see, who's leading, who's a sergeant, or who's a gunnery sergeant, or a colonel, or something like that, right? And it's just a lot of fun in the office to see people unlocking different ranks, and it's always a celebration. And of course, it's a great way to track and measure overall progress. So another question for rewards and achievements might be, are you going to award badges? SalesScreen allows sales leaders to customize and award badges for great performance. So for instance, maybe if someone closes a sale after 9 p.m., you want to recognize them with a night owl badge, right? They receive a night owl badge because they completed a sale activity after 9 p.m., and you want to recognize them, and it will show up on TV screens as well as the web and mobile app celebrating these sales reps. Or you could do another one, for instance, maybe an early bird badge, where if someone completes an activity before 7 or 8 a.m., they unlock a badge as well. There are tons of different ways that you can use these badges. You could have some kind of ridiculous celebration badge where if someone achieves 200% of their budget quota for the month, then they unlock this badge, right? And we've already designed all of the badge templates for you. So really all you have to do is determine how they'll be rewarded, and then just set them up so that they're awarded to sales reps when they complete key activities. It's a lot of fun. They show up on TV screens across the offices. The badges are then stored in the user profile so that people can go and check out, who's unlocked what badges, et cetera, et cetera. And it's just another fun way to make the workday more engaging and interesting, right? And to recognize performance and great behavior within sales reps. Okay. So on top of the experience points and badges, maybe you want to do something a little more real life, right? So what types of awards, prizes, or incentives are meaningful to your players, right? And so one of the keys of gamification is that you have to ensure that it's meaningful to the person who's receiving it, right? So for instance, if our company decides to give a PlayStation 4 to the sales rep of the month, and I happen to be that person, and I win a PlayStation 4, but I don't play video games, and I don't care about PlayStation 4, and I don't even know how to use one, then it's not a great reward for me, right? Perhaps maybe if I like golfing, maybe just a sleeve of golf balls, or maybe a golf club or something like that is a wonderful reward that I'd be really, really excited with. And so when you're giving these rewards, you have to understand, what motivates the individual people within the company. And keep in mind, the rewards don't really have to be big. There's tons of companies out there who don't have the money to give huge financial incentives and rewards. So perhaps something like a bottle of wine or a box of chocolates. In fact, studies have shown that sales reps work harder for the opportunity to receive an award than they do for anything else. So what I'm trying to say is that really it's about the chase. Sales reps are very competitive people. They like to compete. They like to be recognized, and they just want to chase and receive something, right? So it doesn't have to be a PlayStation 4 all the time. It's just about making work fun, making things more interesting, right? Who can win the bottle of wine on Wednesday, or who's going to win a free round of drinks on Friday after work, right? And it helps you to build cohesion and great company culture as well, because as you recognize performance, you're building teamwork, and you're making work fun and engaging. Um, okay. So once you've determined those, you need to determine really how many winners there will be. So how many salespeople will receive awards or prizes, and when are they going to receive these? So with gamification, if you say, winner gets a trip to Vegas, and then you don't actually give a trip to Vegas, it was just a photo, and they don't win anything, you're kind of defeating the purpose of the system, right? So you have to ensure that whatever it is that you say the winner is going to get, that you follow through on that, because it can be quite unmotivating quite quickly if you promise rewards and then don't follow through. And as I said, the rewards don't have to be big. It can be pretty much anything. An hour off work or whatever. If you check out our sales library, we've got a PDF of 100 ways to motivate your sales reps, and they're generally pretty inexpensive ideas. And there's some really funny ones and some pretty basic ones, and all across the board. But definitely check that out. It's a pretty good resource. Um, so next, you need to begin the gameplay, right? So once your targets are set and the game is ready and defined, then launch, right? And don't forget to keep everyone involved by making it social and fun. Building a social atmosphere where everyone's talking about the game and they're interested in it and they're engaged, of course, is going to help with the overall flow and performance of gameplay. And it'll make it much more fun throughout the offices. So some of the things that you can do are post status updates, in the chat feature and in the feed. And you can show the real-time results on TV through these sales competitions where people look up at a TV screen and they can quickly see who's winning the car race, or who's winning the fishing competition, or whatever it happens to be. So next, as the game is playing, you need to track the progress, right? So you need to be able to coach and provide advice to your players so that they can learn along the way. One of the unique features of gamification is that it's a great learning tool. So you're bringing together your data, right? You've got the information, you're making it fun and rewarding. But now that you've got this info, all you have to do is use this in order to coach and provide advice in order to improve performance across the board. Using these data insights to improve performance is really kind of key to the way that the system works, right? It's what you're trying to do as a business is to improve performance and your results, and it's pretty easy to do with gamification. And so once you've got those, another great idea is to make it a collaborative effort, right? To have everybody working together and collaborating, congratulating one another, right? When someone is winning a contest or when they complete an activity and they have their name and photo on TV screens, when champagne bottles are popping for them or whatever it happens to be, that you're recognizing them, that it's not just on TV screens. You want to go up and give them a pat on the back. You want to say, hey, nice job. I saw that you sent that offer, brilliant, and to recognize their performance. So next is that you want to use the data to provide feedback. Once you begin to understand what works best, you need to use the results to provide feedback to your staff, which kind of I covered above, but really what I'm talking about is reshaping things, right? So continuing to provide the overall data feedback on performance, and to update the system with maybe new competitions, or changing things up a little bit. You want to be able to measure the trends in order to show performance over time. And that way you can adapt your sales process accordingly. So the next step then, of course, is to adjust, refine, and play again, meaning that once you learn how to structure your goals and rewards so that improvements will continue, you want to continue doing that. You want to be able to change up the teams maybe. If you have some really strong performers on one team and some rookies on another, maybe you want to mix that up, right? Put the rookies with the strong performers. Or maybe one day you've been doing that already and you want to make a team of all rookies against all core performers and all rock stars or whatever. So maybe it will build a huge sense of collaboration and teamwork within the rookies, and they get a really steep learning curve and pull a lot out of the experience, right? Maybe they end up coaching each other and learning more than they ever thought they would. Um, but keep changing up the teams, the targets, the challenges, the goals, and the way that it works. And of course, if you're able to, providing different incentives, right? Bottle of wine is great, but if it's always bottle of wine, bottle of wine, bottle of wine, that can get kind of boring. So maybe try movie tickets, right, or sports tickets, or something basic. Like I said, it doesn't have to be expensive. But really, what you want to do is you want to build cohesion, teamwork, and great company culture by making a fun work environment, right? A place that people are proud to call home, a place that people are really proud to come and work for this company because you're spicing things up, you're making it interesting, you're using gamification along with your data to define your objectives and then reward performance on those KPIs and those results, okay? So lastly, as we say around here, you want to surpass your goals, right? So never stop at good enough when you can be great. Keep using the system, keep learning, keep driving performance, and ultimately what you'll end up with is really incredible company culture. You'll end up gaining a lot from your data. You'll learn a lot about your sales processes and what works. And hopefully you'll have a ton of fun along the way because gamification really is a great and powerful tool. And if you learn to use it properly, you can achieve incredible things within your organization. So if you're interested, we hope that you request a demo. Come chat with us, ask us some questions. We'll run you through the system. If you have any other questions or comments, please feel free to send us an email anytime or hit us up on our chat feature in your lower right-hand corner. We're always happy to answer your questions. We look forward to chatting with you, and we hope that you guys have a great day. So cheers, and we hope that you find everything that you need in order to gamify your system. Cheers.